Coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
The Multicultural Suite has finally opened for student use, and SGA has started their That's Not Okay campaign.
We have an update on the construction of the new athletic facility on Hogan Road and the women's basketball team's NCAA run.
Stay with us. Good evening and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Cullen Ronan.
And I'm Kayla Heavey.
Students gathered in the Piazza this Tuesday night to hear guest speaker Julia Winokur discuss the That's Not Okay campaign. Spearheaded by Ali Munchie, Vice President for Student Experience and SGA, the campaign is an attempt to educate and raise awareness about discrimination among students. Winokur spoke about her experience after interviewing Bobcats throughout the day, discussing their beliefs on discrimination and bias. Pens and bracelets were given out in an attempt to further promote the program. Q30 News interviewed Winokur about Quinnipiac's future with the campaign.
Quinnipiac is definitely moving in the right direction because this whole idea of that's not okay, and having a campaign that's aimed towards getting students to really draw the line and stand up for things that are right.
After a long wait, the Multicultural Suite has finally been opened to the Student Center. The suite was originally planned to be open in February but faced many delays. Students and faculty gathered in the Piazza to hear opening remarks from Provost Mark Thompson, Chief Diversity Officer Diana Riza, and Vice President and Dean of Students Monique Drucker.
In this location, there's nothing for the multicultural students. It's 15 cultural organizations that don't have a space to meet, and so it was we knew that there was a battle going upward. But again, for me, it's been a long time coming, and I'm very excited that it's open.
The Greek Leadership Series titled Let's Talk About It is taking place tonight at 6 p.m. in the Piazza. It's the second part of the two-part series. A group of students will be discussing different stereotypes along with how to defy them and break down the barriers among people.
Construction on the new athletic fields on Hogan Road is still underway.
Q30 News' very own John McMahon takes a look at the progress.
Construction of a new athletic facility on the Mount Carmel campus has taken place over the past few months. The facility is for the men's and women's soccer and lacrosse teams, as well as women's field hockey. The Centerbrook architectural firm responsible for the facility's design released the following statement on their website. Centerbrook hopes to maintain the traditional look of Quinnipiac University, having brick and cast stone facades on the new stadium. Each field will be complete with locker, team, and training rooms, as well as broadcast-ready press boxes for the media. The entire project is to be completed by a 2017-2018 athletic season. So behind me is the future home of men's and women's soccer, as well as lacrosse and women's field hockey. For Q30 News, I'm John McMahon.
Q30 News just received the following statement from John Morgan, Associate Vice President for Public Relations at Quinnipiac. Quote, the fields are expected to be completed by start of fall 27 semester, and we believe the new athletic fields will enhance the experience for both our student athletes and their fans, end quote. And the countdown to Quinnipiac's largest philanthropy event begins. With only 3 days until Q-thon, there are countless events happening around campus to help get students excited. Sororities and fraternities that are teamed up have been holding their final events to raise money for Q-thon. Delton Phi Sig held a potluck dinner Monday night. On Tuesday, Phi Sig held a Krispy Kreme sale. Beta and Pi Phi had a pasta night, and AD Pi and the Catholic rugby team had an ice cream social. Today, there was a grilled cheese truck on the quad with a portion of the sales going to Q-thon. And Monday through Friday, there have been penny wars, where organizations have been competing against each other. The winner at the end of the week will receive an extra $50 to their final fundraising total.
Q-thon is this Saturday in the Rec Center. Registration starts at 12 and the opening ceremony will start at 2. For those who won't be able to attend the event, Q30 is teaming up with Q-thon and we will be covering the 10-hour live event. So make sure to check it out on our YouTube channel.
Quinnipiac's theater department has been given a new space to both work and perform. Located on Sherman Ave, just seconds away from the entrance to the York Hill campus, the university is currently in the process of renovating the building, turning it into a real theater, equipped with a scenic shop, design studio, dressing rooms, a full lobby, wing space, classrooms, faculty offices, a student lounge, and all new lighting and sound equipment. The space will replace Buckman Theater located in the Student Center, which was originally designed as a lecture hall and not a theater.
The Student Government Association is holding information sessions for spring cabinet elections. There are only 2 sessions left, tonight, March 22nd at 9:15, and tomorrow, March 23rd at 2 p.m. If you are interested in running, come out for more information. It is mandatory to come to an information session to be in the election. SGA encourages students to learn more about this opportunity to get more involved and have your voice heard to Quinnipiac administration.
Moving on from student government to the nation's politics, Trump is pushing for support for his new health care policy.
Sarah Russell has that and more in this week's political update.
Thanks, guys. Well, President Donald Trump continues to push his new health care legislation. Some changes were made to the American Health Care Act that would make it appealing to both conservatives and liberals on Monday night. Yesterday, President Trump had a meeting to secure the 216 votes the GOP needs to pass the health care bill with lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The House Rules Committee plans to vote on the bill on Thursday. A Fox News analyst is in some hot water after claims he made on air last week. Judge Andrew Napolitano, a senior judicial analyst for Fox News, made claims on several Fox programs that British spies had wiretapped Trump Tower. This came after President Trump tweeted about President Obama ordering wiretaps on Trump before his election victory. Napolitano has not been seen on Fox since Thursday and will be kept off the network indefinitely. Yesterday morning, President Trump signed a bill that gives funding to NASA. The bill added more space exploration and increased human exploration of Mars. This bill was signed to help human exploration of Mars and other planets with human space flight programs. The 2018 budget for NASA will be $19.5 billion. Tomi Lahren, best known for her controversial online show, is facing some backlash from fellow conservatives. Lahren shared that she supports abortion rights, a view that is very far from traditional conservative views, while on The View last Friday. She backed her support by explaining she believes in a limited government, so it would not be right to say the government can control what she does with her body. Managing editor of The Blaze, where her show is streamed, told CNN her show has been pulled out of production for at least a week. That's all I have for your political update. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sarah. Still to come on the Q30 Newscast, we have all the updates on what you can do to support our Sweet 16 bound women basketball team.
And Rachel Borntrager gives us an update on what's happening across the nation.
Stay with us.
The Q30 Newscast is sponsored by Quinnipiac University Online. Finish your degree faster with online summer courses through QU Online.
Coming up on hashtag that. We are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. Thanks for staying with us.
Yahoo was hacked and 2 officers of the Russian Federal Security Service may be behind it.
And the Environmental Protection Agency is helping to improve Flint, Michigan's drinking water. Rachel has this week's national news.
Thanks, guys. According to the Department of Justice, 4 people have been indicted for hacking Yahoo. 2 of the individuals are officers of the Russian Federal Security Service. The hack occurred in January of 2014 and affected over 500 million Yahoo accounts. The DOJ said the hack was planned to get private account information of U.S. and Russian journalists, government officials, and private sector employees. Yahoo's CEO publicly thanked the FBI and DOJ for their hard work. The Environmental Protection Agency has given Michigan $100 million to improve the city's water system. In April 2014, Flint's drinking water became contaminated with lead and other toxins when it switched water sources to save money. The grant will go towards working to replace lead service lines and fixing other sources of contamination. The EPA's $100 million comes as an addition to the state's already allocated funds of $250 million. This money will help keep Flint on a solid path forward, according to Michigan Governor Rick Snyder. David Rockefeller, banker and philanthropist, died of congestive heart failure Monday at the age of 101 years old. Rockefeller was also the grandson of the founder of the Standard Oil Company empire and America's first billionaire, John D. Rockefeller. David Rockefeller was chairman and CEO of Chase Manhattan Bank with a net worth of $3.3 billion at the time of his death, and was named world's oldest billionaire by Forbes. That's all I have for this week's national news. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Athletics hosted a watch party at TD Bank Sports Center on Monday for students to come together and cheer on the women's basketball team. The team was playing against 4th seed in Miami in the NCAA tournament and won 85-78. They'll be advancing to the Sweet 16 this coming weekend. The Bobcat fans were encouraged to view this game at the TD Bank Sports Center. The first 200 students would receive a free t-shirt, and pizza was also provided as well. The inaugural Frank H. Netter MD School of Medicine class celebrated Match Day on March 17th. There was a 100% match rate, and students found out their residency placements. Some of the matches included UCLA, Yale, Brown, and Johns Hopkins. This class started in 2013, and after 4 years, these students took part in Match Day. This was the first year that Quinnipiac University held a ceremony for the students.
The Residence Hall Council, or RHC, is hosting their first Family Q Youth event Thursday night at the Mount Carmel Auditorium in the Center for Communications and Engineering. Students have the opportunity to win gift cards to Uber, Eli's, or Dunkin' Donuts by answering Family Feud-style questions. Teams can feature up to 5 participants, and free pizza will be available to all who attend. Alpha Chi Omega's spring philanthropy event, Walk a Mile, is coming up this Sunday. Participants can bring or borrow a pair of heels to walk in the event, bringing students together to help raise awareness for the fight against domestic violence. The event begins at noon on the Mount Carmel Quad, with registration opening at 11:30 a.m. The event costs $25 to enter, and the winning team will receive a $50 cash prize.
Bobcat fans were invited to a Sweet 16 send-off rally for the Quinnipiac women's basketball team at 4 p.m. today at the TD Bank Sports Center. Students had the chance to congratulate the team and wish them well before headed to California. They'll be competing in the NCAA tournament facing top seed South Carolina. This game will take place on Saturday, March 25th.
I'm so jealous of everyone going to California this week for the game, Kayla.
Oh yeah, I'm so sick of the weather, the wind, the cold. Where is spring?
Well, Monday was actually the first day of spring. We're going to throw it to Chris Dacey for this week's full weather forecast.
Can we expect some sun for this weekend, Chris?
Hey guys, thanks. So I'm out here with the weather. Right now it is 8 degrees, but it's clear. It's very cold. We got winds at high winds, about 15 miles per hour, about 7, and now we're going to take a look at the forecast around the area. It is 5 in New London, 5 in Northwich, 3 in Storrs. Hartford is at 6, 9 in Meriden, it's 10 in New Haven, 5 in Waterbury. Now we're going to move on to tomorrow's forecast. It's going to warm up. It's going to be 40 degrees, cold with sunshine though, and it's going to be about a 9-mile-an-hour wind, and sunrise is going to be nice and early at 6:50. Now we're going to move on to tomorrow night. It's going to go back down, cold. It's going to be clear with clouds somehow. It's going to be 5-mile-an-hour winds, and then a sunset around 7 p.m. Now we're going to move on to the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow it is going to be a high of 40, a low of 44 somehow. And then Friday it's going to be raining. And then Friday it's going to be 46 with a low of 42. And then Saturday it's going to be a high of 62. Make sure you get those shorts out for Q-thon, right before Q-thon. And then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday it's going to be rainy. high is 38, 42, and 48. And then Wednesday, it's going to be back up to 48, but cloudy. And that is all that I got for you guys today for weather. I'm going to go back inside because it's 8 degrees again here, and I cannot feel anything. Back to you guys.
Still to come on this Q30 Newscast, Carrie has this week's entertainment news.
And Brian Schwartz makes an appearance to give us an idea of what we can expect for this Saturday's women's basketball game.
Stay with us.
The Q30 Newscast is sponsored by Quinnipiac University Online. Finish your degree faster with online summer courses through QU Online.
Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, and hashtag that.
We are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news. Thanks for staying with us.
Sesame Street continues to break down barriers, adding a new character to their cast.
Carrie Golden is here with this week's entertainment news. Carrie, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. As we all know, Disney's Beauty and the Beast hit theaters on March 19th. The timeless classic reached over $170 million in ticket sales in North American theaters. This number broke several different Hollywood records, including one set just last year for the biggest March opening. The Disney company is looking at making over $1 billion in worldwide ticket sales by the end of its run. Looks like there's no stopping the Disney empire now. The big screen isn't the only place where the beloved classics are getting revamped. The classic television show Sesame Street has added a new character, but with autism. Julia is the newest member to the cast on TV, but has always been in the storybooks. Sesame Street has always had a reputation for the inclusion of characters and is not afraid to deal with real-life issues. Julia will make her debut on the show in April. That's all I have for this week's entertainment news. I'm Carrie Golden. Back to you guys at the desk.
Brian Schwartz joins us now with an update on Quinnipiac sports.
It is a big day for women's basketball on Saturday. Am I right, Brian?
Oh, you're absolutely right, Cohen. Well, history has been made in Quinnipiac sports this year. No, I'm not talking about hockey. I'm not talking about rugby. It was, in fact, the Quinnipiac women's basketball team, led by head coach Trisha Fabry. The Bobcats not only reached their goals of making the NCAA tournament, but won their first 2 games, advancing to the Sweet 16 for the first time in school history. In the opening round, the number 12 Bobcats faced the number 5 Marquette Golden Eagles. Quinnipiac got off to a hot start, leading 26-13 after 1. Jen Fay led the Bobcats with 20 points in the contest, as Quinnipiac pulled off the monumental upset, 68-65. But wait, there's more. Quinnipiac was lined up to face the host team of the opening weekend, the number 4 Miami Hurricanes. As our own Shane Dennehy put it, there was a Category 5 hurricane coming right at Quinnipiac, but Morgan Mans kept pushing it away. Well put, Shane. Because it was the senior Morgan Mans filling it up for the Bobcats, the forward shot 6 of 8 from beyond the arc, leading to a 22-point effort. Aaron McClure, Paula Stroutmanet, and Sarah Schuin were all in double figures as well. Quinnipiac would go on to win 85-78, clinching the Sweet 16 berth. And maybe the best of all was the reactions post-game. Quinnipiac President John Leahy and Athletic Director Greg Amodio joined in on a locker room celebration to congratulate the team. But one thing that everyone said is they are not done yet. Quinnipiac will face number 1 South Carolina, who is without center Elena Coates. The game will be held in Stockton, California, Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It can be seen on ESPN2. My key for this game is, of course, the hot shooting and a strong start. This is not a number 1 seed UConn, it's South Carolina. Guys, it should be a good one. Back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
To stay up to date on the latest Quinnipiac events, follow Q30 News on Twitter and visit us at Q30television.com.
I'm Cullen Ronan.
And I'm Kayla Heavey. Good night, Quinnipiac.